Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, Shabbat Shalom. Also, the reason I'm doing this share is it's just to put before you the beauty of humble submission to the one and the only. You have the choice to decide as you will, but there, for me, the signs of that led me to faith were just the whatever argument held the most credibility. There are, as this young lady, her name was Danielle Johnson. She was 34 years old. And she definitely believed in signs. But I would hazard to say she believed in them in a way where she was confusing all of the programming and the brainwashing that everybody gets through the school system, and it's all guided by Western civilization. And if you are falling for different parts of it, oh my goodness, it's a disastrous fall. Now, not everybody who's confused by the West and those derived from the West are going to do what this young woman did, which was absolutely heinous. She stabbed to death her live-in boyfriend, and she threw her two children out of a barreling car, and it killed her 8-month infant. The other daughter, who was older, I do believe she was 10, but I didn't double check that one, survived. So far as has been reported, that's a beautiful thing. And I pray that there are more grounded relatives in the child's life so she can survive the horror that having such an origin would bring to anybody's life. I do pray that that child can grow up with sanity and humility. Now, what I mean by having that humility is a lot of us have a sense that life is supposed to be like a movie, and it's all supposed to wrap up nicely. Nothing's ever going to go wrong. And that's just not the case at all. And a lot of people will then blame the creator if their lives are not perfect, not understanding that it is the utilization of imperfection that creates any chance of perfection. There's no way that you can offer independent thinking to a people, to your creation, and there's going to not be imperfection within that thereby you can do the best that you can with the gift that he's given you, and in that time you are going to find happiness. You're going to find joy. You're going to find laughter. But you can never dispense with the notion of being humble so that when stuff does go wrong, you don't feel it as if it's some sort of personal slight that the Most High is supposed to just peel your grapes, because you can always ratchet up what you have an expectation of what's going to qualify as an extraordinary life. And it can get to be so unreasonable that it's not possible for your every single whim to be satisfied. Now, in saying this, once again, I don't mean that her particular lifestyle automatically leads you to make a decision to take out your whole family. Okay? But I'm saying that go as natural as you can, darling. Okay? And I mean that for even the brothers. When you're choosing a mate, you want to be in alignment with what the creator made you to be, which is, you listening to me, more than likely you're black. I know there's white people who listen to me, but this ain't the place for you. I'm just saying you need to be healing your own. I ain't about to volunteer for that. That's whoa, okay? But I'm just saying, in terms of her hair, I don't know. There are black people who that can be their natural hair, but with the lace front wig phenomena, you guys are really just, you're being overshadowed by so much that automatically, when you see a black woman and she's walking out the door and she got the hair and the false eyelashes and all the makeup, it the automatic assumption is that none of that is you. None of that is you. And I want to emphasize, we are not, I'm not here to say we're the fakest women on the planet. No, we're not. But they will portray us as the fakest women on the planet. And because we are so hungry, we're so just desperate for credibility on par of what we think all the other women of the earth are getting, we will give deference to their beauty standards, as so that we will assume that the might, I mean the glory of having gravitationally defying hair is some sort of insult, when no. They're the ones who really don't want us to realize how magnificent our own natural physiology is. Because then that first glimpse of God that we give our children is going to be completely, non-apologetically in love with being what the Creator made us to be. So that is always for me a sign of just how awake a person is, be it a man or a woman, how much fakery you are willing to accept as your own. And that extends also to where you live. They lived in a residence called Montecito Courts or something of that sort. And it's in Woodland Hills. So I went and I looked up the demographics of Woodland Hills, and I see it's one of them, got a little want some more type of places that's mostly, overwhelmingly white, 63%. So that is another little click on that Negropean mindset, where you are embracing an artificiality of existence, where you automatically just conclude that if you're in a mostly white place, I done arrived. But these folks, the white folks, they fall into daggone pieces. I can't even cover all of their killing each other. And, this whole thing makes me think of P. Diddy beating that woman, which was terrible. It's terrible. He has no humility. Dr. She was sharing with me that's when you don't recognize you don't own other people. You don't own them. That's something that demands humility, because other people, you get connected with folks, somebody gonna hurt you. You are going to be emotionally distraught when they don't do what you want them to do. But when you think you have that much command, you and that much power, you are going to cling to the fakery. You're going to cling to this demographic where you are sure your life story is supposed to never hurt, never cause you any pain. And that's not possible. That's not possible. And so Diddy was looking at that chick as if he owned her. He owned her. And I mean, there's far worse. Like I said, there's far worse that white people, Asian people are doing to themselves. They own the media, so they keep it out of the papers, and they make sure that they constantly rotate us, and they'll take down their selected agents like a Diddy, and so that they could keep us as the worst people on the planet in rotation. So you'll move to a white neighborhood and you think you good now. My story's going to be great now. And no, it's not. Because you cannot be satisfied in a society that is so out of balance. These dudes are killing the freaking planet. And they shadow ban any warnings about it, not just from Black Me, but from even the white anti-nukers, and not just the ones who are on social media. All the books I've read, Ernest Sternglass mentioned that he would write, I mean, he did painstaking research, detail every single semicolon. Every single report he did was based on the data, the facts that proved how hazardous radiation is. And you know, they built whole papers, whole publications to take him down and make him seem like he is not credible. I mean, whoa, it's an extraordinary just reality. But getting back to Danielle, she was with a Black man. And my condolences to his family and my ashe. Very handsome brother, name of Jalen Allen Cheney. And I do believe brother was only 29. He wasn't the father of her children, and they weren't married. He lived with her, and they got into an argument, and she stabbed him to death. And he was actually a military person. And so thereby, she must have, I don't know if she came up on him and surprised him, because she doesn't look like she would have a whole lot of strength to be able to do this, or maybe she drugged him or something. Those details have not been revealed. However, the woman was on a level of just confusion that was frightening. She did this shortly before the eclipse, this horrifying murder, and she killed herself too. And this was one of the things she was screaming on her X site or platform. I don't know. This is just too much stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's just, you have to be careful. You have to walk humbly. I know, for the most part, my own limitations. So I know when I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted looking at her, little GIF that she put up there. That's something else altogether. I know when I'm like I've had too much and I have to stop. And it doesn't always announce itself. It just suddenly, I have an abundance of energy. I have an abundance of positivity. Sometimes that can be a little difficult because I have to be careful to protect myself. And so, I'll know, don't go to that site. Don't go over there. I've rehumanized myself when it comes to violence, so that I don't watch. And it's gotten to the point where it's automatic now. I was watching one Korean drama, and they had a scene where somebody was killing everybody. And I was like, okay, that's enough. And I just started fast forwarding. Before, I used to make myself do that. Like, okay, no, don't watch that. And now it's just become automatic, where I know it's troubling. It's troubling. I know it's fake. That's not the point. It's gratuitous. It's over the top, where you suddenly feel like it's normal to think on a violent level. And no, it's not. Never, ever. Right? Unless somebody is attacking me, I'm sorry. I see peaches and sunshine. I don't mean peaches because they because of the dumb folks. I'm just saying, I see sunshine, and that's the life that I choose. I protect my peace. I don't let fools in. So when I see stuff like this, I just run. I'm out. I know with the abundance of evidence that the Most High is real. Don't pay a shred of just attention to any type of lunacy like this. Magic is real. What? This is when you want to secure that perfect little storyline outside of the sanctity and the commands and the rules of the Most High. You want to get away with whatever however you can. And that's why you want a bunch of gods. It would not be possible to create the integrated, self-sustaining reality of existence, and you would do it with a committee. I used to realize that years back, and each day when I say my prayers, and I'm not going to get up here and act like I say them every day. I'm getting better, but sometimes I miss it, and I'm getting better at incorporating saying prayers when I have every single meal. But it's not what I was grown up with or I was raised with. And so it's not such an easy thing for me to acclimate to on a regular basis, but I've been getting much, much better. And so years back, I had realized that everything in existence is a lesson. That's not accidental for it to be a lesson that builds up to embracing the commands of the Most High. So to have a committee, where you got all these different God personalities, and they could all be like Diddy, where they're just like, oh, I'm a God. You got to listen to me. How are they going to cooperate? And so that they could make this nuance of existence. It's not possible. What's wrong with accepting there was one man in charge? One man who said, this nothingness ain't working out for me. I'm out of here. That's because you don't want to be humble. You don't want to follow the rules. And so this one right here, a lot of us are being called to embracing, like I said, don't listen to this. If you don't want to hear, there's only one creator. Right? There's lots of gods out there. Yeah, there are. But they're not the creator. They're not the one and only. I don't know how to make a new universe for you. I don't know how. And I even thought when I was thinking about Jesus, I was like, can Jesus make a new universe? No, it's about the one and the only. Right? I respect and admire because there is guidance, and that's part of this. Being humble. We need help. We need advice, and so that we can reach the best life possible sooner, even through the pain. We can reach a better life, because when that pain happens, you're going to be able to face it with much more strength if you know, so be His will. There's a lesson in this for me, and I need to learn it, not run from it, not reject it. Okay? There's so many ways to build up your emotional fortitude so you could handle difficult moments. There's exercise, there's eating an organic, conscious vegan diet, that because in eating the meat, you're taking in the radiation, and the radiation is going to affect your brain. It's also, she was in California. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I know you don't have to be overcome by sorrow and anger, and also just stepping deeper and deeper into these different websites that will recommend the most ridiculous things in the world. And even though she appeared facially as if she was slender, and I'd imagine with the boyfriend she had, that she was in a outwardly physical good shape, there's a lot of slender people eating crap. Eating food that will then permeate your very brain with toxins, with excitotoxins, they call them, with, the HFCs and the MSG. They will literally go in and explode little holes in your brain matter, so you can't think beyond your impulses. So step away from all those things as if your life depends on it, because it does. You are going to feel so fantastic. You'll be able to tackle the hardships of life as if that's just another moment to endure till you get to the other side, and you're gonna know you're gonna get to the other side. And so this just really was just heartbreaking to me to see this, because I love seeing black love. I don't know what was going on between the two of them. But definitely, I don't care what fight you're having. I don't care what disagreement you got going on between the two of you. You never hurt the other person. And that goes both ways. The man hurting the woman, and the woman hurting the man. Right? You just don't do that. It when you feel like you want to cause some sort of physical pain because you're just having an automatic response to not getting your way, that means you need to get away. You need to take time to think about what you're doing and decide maybe this relationship is not going to work out. If it drives me to this level, maybe it's not going to work out. When I think about us being under the rulership of white people, I know that is never going to work out. Right? All right. Let me end it right now because I got more to say about different topics, and it is what it is. Straight Black pride is our map to forever. Try not to trip over the pebbles. Okay? All right. There's only one road going all the way to the top of the mountain. I love you.